No clip, just me. It's me, Mario. Shout out to Lil Wayne, man, legendary 80s baby. Thank you to everybody that sent me this story. All 82 of y'all. Literally, it's probably 82 people. I'm going to dive deep on why Lil Wayne sold his masters for $100 million. Stay locked in. My ducks, my swans, welcome to the pond. My name is Dorian from Group82Music.com, and right here, all over the world, everybody's talking about it. Why did Lil Wayne sell his masters for $100 million to Universal? There's a myriad of reasons why Lil Wayne did this. So just to give y'all a little bit of history, Dwayne Michael Carter Jr. is one of the greatest rappers of all time. He's one of the greatest entertainers of all time. He is a legendary force in pop culture, somebody who we all love and somebody who we all want to see live for a very, very long time. He's been in the music industry basically since he was like 8 or 9 years old. And when you're in the industry that young and for that long, you're gonna have a lot of shit happen to you. There's gonna be a lot of people gonna try to take credit for your success. In 2005, Wayne had a manager. His name was Ronald Sweeney. And from 2005 to 2018, that was Wayne's manager, helped him deal with the stuff at Cash Money, even though him and Birdman are like father, like son. Dope album, by the way. And in 2018, Ronald Sweeney got fired. Because that's what happens. Managers get fired. Chance, shit. Here we go, Mike Tyson. Chance, the rapper, just fired his manager, Pat. That's what happens. Managers get fired. Is what it is. And because of that, Ronald Sweeney is suing Lil Wayne for $20 million. In the midst of this lawsuit, financials get uncovered. Ownership gets uncovered. And the documents that were obtained by TMZ's bitch ass shows that Lil Wayne sold his masters allegedly for $100 million to Universal Records. Y'all know how I feel about this. Y'all know how I feel about selling your masters. The shit is crazy right now. What's about to happen with virtual reality and augmented reality and artificial intelligence and streaming? Lil Wayne's masters, I'm not exaggerating, are going to be worth $1 trillion one day. But he just sold them for $100 million. Why in the fuck would he do that? I'm going to give you 3 reasons why Lil Wayne did that. Number 1, streaming. Because of streaming right now, there's all these huge valuations going on for people's masters and the ownership of music. You got venture capitalist firms, you got these funds, you got these record companies, you got anybody who has a lot of money. They're looking at masters as the new real estate. So because of streaming and what's going to keep happening to residual royalties and publishing, now masters are valued higher than they've ever been before. And $100 million, give a fuck who you are, it's still $100 million. You think I'm bullshitting? Go look at Spotify's stock price. They're valued at, their market cap, last time I checked, was around $50 billion. Go look at Universal Music Group, the people that just bought Lil Wayne's masters. Go look at what their market cap is. It's gonna be around 30 billion. So Spotify, the service that needs Universal's music to license out to stream, is valued almost $20 billion more right now. That's just fucking insane. And that shows you where we're going with streaming and why masters are so valuable right now. And everybody's throwing this money around to buy them. Number 2, COVID. COVID-19 has had a crazy effect on everybody's lives this year, and really has had a crazy effect on American commerce, international commerce, you want to keep it funky. And because of that, banks are suffering. Do y'all know how banks make money? This is how banks make money. I have $1,000, right? I'm gonna take that $1,000, I'm gonna put it inside of Chase. What Chase is gonna do, they're gonna pay me a very, 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 very small interest rate in a savings account for me having my money inside of Chase. What they do is they take my $1,000, and anybody who comes to the bank and they want to borrow $1,000, they're going to loan my $1,000 to that person that wants to borrow it, and they're going to charge them a much higher interest rate, and then they keep the margin in between. That's how banks make money. So right now, the interest rate to borrow money because of COVID is extremely low. So because of that, these venture capitalist firms, these funds, they can go and borrow money from these banks in order to buy these masters catalogs that have these extremely high valuations. And that normally wouldn't have been the case without COVID. Now, on the artist perspective with COVID, how do artists make their money? How do major signed artists make their money? They make their money from touring. That's how they get paid. When they go and they sell a show, 13, 15, 20,000 people, they do 100 of those shows, they make millions of dollars. Who's been able to tour in COVID? Nobody. So because of that, artists are suffering. They can't make no money. They can't work. Like you've heard, I think it was Crosby or Bob Dylan or Stevie Nicks, or one of them old motherfuckers was talking about it, complaining about how they can't work right now. And so that is why they sold their masters as well. So because of that, Lil Wayne's looking at his bank account. This has probably been the worst year he's ever done financially. I don't know, but I would assume so with all the market conditions. So therefore that 100 million is looking pretty nice. Number 3, Joe Biden. Politics is always going to affect American commerce. One of the big things that people were talking about with Joe Biden was his tax plan. 50 Cent talked about it because he literally posted what CNBC talked about it, and y'all slandered him to no end. That's because y'all weren't paying attention to what the fuck he said. So, capital gains tax. Capital gains tax is when you get taxed on some sort of entity or asset that makes you some money. So let's use that $1,000 example again. Let's say I buy $1,000 worth of Apple stock and I hold it. But if I sell that Apple stock before 12 months has went past, I have to pay a higher tax rate than if I hold it longer than 12 months, so 13 months. So right now, under the Trump administration in December 2020, the capital gains tax is 20%. Joe Biden's about to lift that motherfucker up to 37%. So when anybody's buying stocks right now, make sure you hold that shit so you're not getting hit with a crazy capital gains tax. Now, what does it got to do with people buying their music? When you sell your music catalog to a fund or to a company, you are transferring a owned asset for monetary value. So because of that, it qualifies for capital gains tax. Royalties that you make off your music, that's personal income. You're going to get hit with the personal tax. Right now, that personal tax is 20% if you make a lot. Joe Biden's gonna kick that motherfucker up to 37%. So every single artist right now is looking like, yo, the royalties I'm gonna make off of this over the next 5, 10, 15 years, A, isn't gonna equate to $100 million. And B, I'm gonna have to pay so much fucking money in taxes because ain't no telling what Biden gonna do over the next 4 years with this tax rate. So it's in my best interest if I'm Lil Wayne to cash out on this money right now. So I ain't gotta worry about none of that. I ain't gotta worry about the headaches of the royalties of the publishing, any of that. I sell my masters, I get my 100 million, and then I run. Sounds crazy. It is crazy. But this is a lot of stuff that factors into these decisions. It ain't just people just doing this shit past by night. Now, Lil Wayne has had legal troubles, and he might need the money for that. That might have been part of some deal. I don't know. That's all fake ass Illuminati conspiracy bullshit. And y'all gonna be in the comments, y'all gonna argue about it. You can go right ahead. But I'm giving you the cold hard facts. This is why Lil Wayne is selling his masters for $100 million. This is why Bob Dylan has sold his masters. This is why Timberland is selling his masters. This is why Stevie Nicks is selling her masters. This is why all these people are selling their masters because they want to avoid all this shit and they're all getting hit with this. Every single investor knows this. Anybody who's involved in the world of finance knows this. You have to hold shit for a long term in order to make the money. Like I told y'all at the beginning of this video, Lil Wayne's master is going to be worth $1 trillion one day. I'll put that on my Twitter. Let's put the tweet up. And I wholeheartedly believe that. They're going to be worth $1 trillion. And I know some of y'all are like, man, get the fuck out of here with Apple's worth $1 trillion right now. Amazon's worth over $1 trillion right now. We are entering into the era of $1 trillion. This is not some infinity bullshit ass number. This is real. Jeff Bezos is going to be a trillionaire. Elon Musk is going to be a trillionaire. Mark Zuckerberg's probably going to be a trillionaire. And maybe one of us around here is going to be a trillionaire. And Wayne's asset, the amount of songs that he's been on, the amount of songs that are hits, the amount of eras that he's had impact on, the person he is from pop culture, once his music starts getting licensed out like crazy, because now Universal has every incentive to license out his music to every movie, every TV show, every commercial, every video game, in addition to the social media legislation that's going to catch up, in addition to the artificial intelligence and the augmented reality and the virtual reality legislation and the music that's going to be inside of there. Everyone's going to be playing Lil Wayne shit. They're going to be playing it. And Universal's going to eat off all that. So if anybody wants to buy Lil Wayne shit 25, 30 years from now, hope you come in with a T, nigga. You think I'm bullshitting? Go look at what NBA teams were selling for 20 years ago. Go look at what Leslie Alexander bought the Houston Rockets for in the 90s. And go look at what the Houston Rockets are valued at now. And that's basketball. That's a physical, tangible product that really doesn't get licensed all over the world besides the television rights. This is music that lives on forever. What do you think? Did Wayne make a good decision? Did he make a bad decision? Is 100 million 100 million? Or should he have held out for that trillion? He probably not gonna live to see that, but his family would have. Was his family good anyway? I don't know. Appreciate all y'all sending me the video. If you're on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. You on Instagram, hit that follow. Mouth the pond. Y'all stay true.
She prays to the mighty. Ain't thinking about white